Now, your Jesus, your Serapis, which is his original name, came from Ptolemy the First, Sotar. Now, if you all are not familiar what Ptolemy means rulers of Greek and Rome who ended up being rulers in Egypt, okay? In fact, this Ptolemy I Sotar was the general of Alexander the Greek, whom died in 323, and that was from poisoning or malaria. Some say poisoning, some say malaria. Needless to say, Ptolemy I took over. And when he took over, he knew that the only way that he would be successful in ruling the ancient black Egyptians, the Kemetic people, was to get some form of deity acceptance among the people. So what did he do? Ptolemy I, Sotar, and Sotar means savior in Greek. I'm going to say that again. Sotar means savior in Greek. Now, the Ptolemy I Sotar went around Egypt to the temples to see where he can be accepted as a deity for the ancient black Egyptians. Huh? Absolutely true. How is it that a white dude is going to come to an all black people, take what they have, and then want to institute himself as a deity among our ancestors? He wanted to be paid homage to, like our ancestors paid homage to Osiris, Isis, Horus, Ptah, all of our gods. He wanted himself to be worshipped just as such, so that the Greeks and those who come after him can have some type of authority or say-so in that which happens in ancient Kemet among the ancient black Egyptians. Now, when he went to these temples, none of them said, we're going to accept that. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. So he continued to travel, and he finally got to Memphis, Egypt. Now, according to the stories and history that is written in the book entitled The History and Origins of Christianity by Walter Williams, he tells you that there is a temple in Memphis that Ptolemy I went to. Well, upon further research, it would be a great educated guess that that temple was the temple of Hathor, seeing that Hathor was the sky goddess of fertility, love, dance, and music, and things of that nature. And I say that it is a great educated analysis, because Osiris himself was the god of fertility, the father of fertility. So fertility equals fertility, okay? So anyway, he got the ancient black Egyptians in the Hathor temple to make him a prototype image of what could possibly help him to become acceptable in the ancient Egyptian society and place as a deity. Now, that image that they made was an image of Serapis. That was the name of the image, which is shown right here. And that image had one-sided face of Osiris and the other side Apis the bull. And Apis the bull was a great Kemet god, an ancient Egyptian god that we worship. Okay? So they put these two together back to back, you know, just like they did the Janus statue, okay? But you have Osiris and you have Apis the bull. Now, when they made this prototype for Ptolemy I Soter, aka Lagi, this image, Serapis, the image was Serapis. So he went back among the ancient black Egyptian people and asked to be accepted as a deity with this prototype image called Serapis. The people were outraged and they said, dude, you slipping. You got to be bananas. We're not worshiping you, man. So what did Ptolemy I Soter do? He closed down all the schools, temples that were in Egypt. All of the schools that he went to. Closed all of them down except Memphis. And all of the manuscripts and scrolls that he confiscated from those temples, he moved those manuscripts and scrolls to the temple in Memphis where they made him the prototype. Needless to say that when he closed these schools down, he did not allow the ancient black Kemetic people to build any form of statues that will have them fellowshipping and worshiping with great spirituality. He did not want that. He did not want that. And this was in 323 AD. Some people say BC, Christ's existence. CE, I'm sorry. Now, after Ptolemy I, Ptolemy II came. But when this Ptolemy III came, which is Ptolemy I Soter grandson, and Ptolemy III actually built a Serapis, S-E-R-A-P-I-S. I want you to write that down, my Christian family, or anybody that's out there listening, because this word, S-E-R-A-P-I-S, is going to have a very significant impact on what you call your Savior and whom you call yourself as a Christian. Now, getting back to Ptolemy III, he built that temple, and near that temple of Serapis, he built the annex, okay? And this was done in the city of Alexandria, okay? Now, that annex that he built, he went and got all of those scrolls that his grandfather, Ptolemy I Soter, had stored there, and brought them back to the temple Serapis in Alexandria, placed them in that annex, and there is what you now have what they call the Great Library of Alexandria, aka the Great Library of Egypt. Mind you that the Alexander the Greek did not write any books at all. In fact, the Greeks could not read nor write. They could not read or write when they invaded the ancient African Egyptian civilization, aka Kemet. They did not know how to read. They did not have any alphabet. We had alphabet in the halls of the temple. We had writing, we had scrolls, we had manuscripts. We had done this already. Let's get that understood. Now, seeing that the Greeks had forced their language upon the ancient Egyptian black people, we began to write phonetically the words which they spoke. We comprised our alphabet to fit their language that they forced on us, and then gave them their alphabet. So, for starters, we created the alphabet for the Greeks after the fact that they invaded the ancient Kemet civilization. And then Ptolemy I Soter wants to be accepted as a deity. Crazy. But his grandson, Ptolemy III, continued on with the agenda just as the first Ptolemy and the second Ptolemy did. Yeah. In fact, now that we have got this established, we're going to leave 323, 324, and go to 325 AD, which is a very significant date. We're going to have 4 great significant dates in this video.